Here we go. First 11. This is your connection with DC United and so much more. I'm Dave Johnson along with Bruce Murray. But important this weekend, DC United, April 6, 2025, will be in San Jose to take on, now they're called the San Jose Earthquakes. But it was April 6, 1996. DC United taking on the then San Jose Clash, the first ever game for Major League Soccer. Now, John Harkes, captain of DC United, played in that game. You know, he was at Derby County in England. He was on loan with West Ham United. It all came together so quickly.
Okay. We're in March. I should probably get flights booked then, right? And they were like, yeah, you probably need to get back here. And we were going into the unknown, Dave. It was more about, like, are we going to pull this off? You know, is this league going to really kick off?
And as John remembers, a sellout crowd at then Spartan Stadium, over 30,000 in attendance.
The crowd, man, seeing that crowd, Dave, that was, to me, is like, wow, okay. People want to see this game here. People want to cheer for this game. They want to be part of this. They want to connect to the game here at a pro level. I guess afterwards was more, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but more like, can we sustain it? That was the biggest question.
Unfortunately, John's national team teammate, Eric Ronaldo, scored the only goal of the game, 1-0, so it ended up being a loss for DC United.
Disappointed about the loss, but at the big picture, we were looking at more of, this is a really important part of history about growing our game as a pro level again in this country. And so we were happy to be part of it, but that's when the hard work really started. We had to continue to push that on further and further.
All right, as I bring in Bruce Murray, we just heard some of the thoughts of John Harkes, and they were your teammates as well on the U.S. men's national team. But as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of that first game, just some of your emotional thoughts as someone who in the late 80s, as you were really in your prime coming out of Clemson, there was not a Major League Soccer. There was not that option. Juventus in Italy was calling for you at a time when American players, it was unheard of to be considered by European teams.
Yeah, it really was. And all those guys that were in that first game were definitely national teammates of mine. But this is a really important game for the league, for the the DNA of this team. I mean, we have Bruce Arena coaching on the other sideline. I mean, we have Ian Harkes playing on the other team. I mean, there's so many ironic things happening here, and then obviously. We're going to play at PayPal Park, but the old Spartan Stadium was a very narrow venue, and but it held a lot of great memories for me.
Yeah, that was a fun place, Spartan Stadium, because also all of a sudden the goalkeeper kicks it in the other box, and you never know. It's almost like a arena soccer at times, and I don't mean Bruce Arena. And a salute to Bruce Arena as the first coach of DC United. But as you went through playing at Clemson, he was really setting the bar. You could be arguing not only for college soccer, but American soccer in general at that time.
Well, he really was. College soccer was just an Olympic sport, and it wasn't very popular. It wasn't covered. Bruce Arena forced it. Bruce Arena's personality has always been forcing things. Bruce Arena is going to say what Bruce Arena is going to say, and boom, and that's what he does. And Bruce Arena kept the flame lit, and now. 2 World Cups later, because our next World Cup is next year, Bruce Arena should be thought of as one of the pioneers, if not the pioneer of college soccer and soccer in general.
The important part of soccer history in this country. But the present is beating Bruce Arena's San Jose Earthquakes. We'll start with Kim Jun-hong and his play and goal. They end up losing last week to Columbus 2-1, but we said he took 2 goals off the board, and that's what you want a goalkeeper to do.
No, there's no doubt about it, Dave. His lateral quickness, I keep talking about it. It's unprecedented in goalkeeping here that I see. He did take 2 goals off, and there was a wicked deflection. Kojima got a block in, and the goalkeeper was stranded literally on his line. So, in my opinion, he is working his way into the position. He also does one other thing better than any keeper in the league, and he drives the ball through the air, through the wind. It doesn't matter. He hits a unbelievable ball, and he's a lot bigger than I thought he was because we're out here training, and man, he's a big dude.
Well, and that helps being a goalkeeper. All right, this team right now is it was a nice recovery from the 4-1 loss in Orlando. However, disappointment that not even a point out of the game. And it shows that's fine margins. You think about a turnover leads to all of a sudden a 1-1 game after DC United was up 1-0. A deflection ends up being the game-winning goal. So when you're talking about, and soccer is a sport of fine margins, the mindset of these players, considering the whole body of work, what do you adjust to maybe make it 3 points? Or what are you seeing in how they play? Because they are creating chances.
Yeah, I think just by being out here and just the spirit of the squad and what we're hearing, and their smiles on the face. And you have to remember we're 6 games into it, and I always looked at things in thirds, right? And, the first 11, then the next 11, the next 11, what can we do? I think it's important that people understand that this team is built, and if you look at the game the other night, there was more chances, there was chances missed, and then there was the wicked deflection. So, again, hard luck. In my opinion, but at the same time, there isn't anybody on this training ground who isn't just focused on getting 3 points on this game now and any other game going forward. This is a team that is full of guys that have been on winning teams, and the fact that all these new players that they brought in, it takes a little while for the team to gel, and they know they needed to do it faster than slower. But at the end of the day, this is a good group of players. And as I say, when we look at our bench now, we look at strength. We can actually bring in like-for-like subs. And
also, when we talk about managing game, which is something DC United has talked about being a priority this year, I think about the spine of the team, or getting back to the center of defense. When you have Kai Rolls and Lucas Bartlett, the experience they have, you throw in the work rate of a Jose Kojima. This is a team, it seems, built better to manage games.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, there's so many players that can come off the bench, and I always looked at as somebody coming off the bench, a substitute, as a player who, the definition of the substitute, a player who can improve the game. And we have a lot of guys on the bench who can improve the game. And if we have an injury, we can slot a player in, no problem.
All right, DC United, San Jose Earthquakes. Yes, April 6th, 2025. Coverage, Brendan Hartlove will be with Bruce Murray on Sunday for coverage on the iHeart app, and you can sync with Apple TV. As always, thanks for your time listening to First 11, 11 minutes or less.